As you talk sports today, we're talking boxing, proudly joined by Sahni in a bit of weird conditions. I was actually a bit late, my flight was delayed, so we're doing it through a fence. But anyway, the show still goes on. Tomorrow we've got a massive fight. Daniel Dubois taking on Alexander Usyk. You've been very confident in Daniel. Is that confidence still continuing?
It's time, right? I don't know if you heard him up there, if you were there for that, but he starts reading out the Bible and stuff. They're a team of faith. Don Charles is a man of faith. His father is a man of faith. Daniel Dubois has been up in the Spanish mountains reading the Bible every night in between his training sessions after those hard slogs, looking for an answer from God. And the answer is he's going to become unified world heavyweight champion on Saturday.
I think it's fair to say you've been one of Daniel's biggest and most vocal supporters. I think you've been getting a lot of attention on Twitter. Things like, there's no rematch clause, so Daniel doesn't need a rematch, doesn't need to worry about that. Is that confidence, a bit of tongue-in-cheek, or is it genuine belief that you genuinely think that he's gonna cause one of the biggest shocks in heavyweight boxing?
It's a bit of both. I like to have a laugh on Twitter as well and wind people up. But there is belief from the camp, certainly. You can look at the realistic things. The realistic things are that he is bigger. Like, he's about a stone heavier, which is less than what I thought it would be. Less than I thought. And he hits harder, and Usyk is inactive, older, and Daniel will just stick it on him. He will do the things that everyone wanted AJ to do. That's the feeling here, and he hits hard enough where even if he doesnn't land at full whack, he can do a lot of damage. He's a very, very hard-hitting heavyweight, one of the hardest hitting out there. So it's the fact that he doesn't actually need to land clean. People are talking about how can you land clean on Alexander Usyk. Daniel Dubois doesn't actually need to because he hits that hard.
And like you said, he's the more active fighter. Usyk's actually been out for quite a long time, and Usyk's a heavyweight who relies on his movement and his agility. Do you think that him being out, that could be something that maybe has deteriorated and something that Daniel can use to his strength?
Yeah, look, that's the sort of thing that you can point to. And if you're Team Dubois, you can hope that those legs now carrying that extra unnatural weight that he's putting on, that maybe they can't cope as well as they would have done before. He'll be 37 very soon, and he's boxed once a year for the last 4 years. That's not a lot of activity. As you start entering your mid to late 30s, it's not a lot at all. And Daniel's the younger guy who's been doing this. He's been at it, and he hasn't had hundreds and hundreds of amateur fights. And he hasn't had these long, grueling world championship training camps. He's very young and very fresh to all of it. So the timing may just align.
Then another thing is that I believe Daniel's only gone past 5 rounds in his career once, and in that fight was when he actually lost to Joe Joyce. Do you think that if he doesn't get this done early, then it could be looking at a very difficult task?
Yeah, he needs to get it done early. I think he's got about 6 rounds or so within which to do it, to get the job done. But that will be the plan anyway. They won't be planning to try and outbox Usyk or stop him late and tire him out, as far as I think anyway. But I think the plan will be to just try and get him out of there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and I don't want you to keep you for too long, but finally, can I just have one final prediction? A round, if I could push you. How's this fight going to end?
I think Daniel will stop him within the first 4 rounds.
Thank you very much. Eddie Talk Sports, joined by Sahni. I really appreciate your time.
No worries, mate.